Why? Because I have constant pressure on the leash, so now you get protest. Come in. So now I'm gonna get him out of that mindset. I just put him in, right? The brain has completely changed now. So it really coming down to control for you guys. What's going on, guys? So filming another assessment here. This is with a dog. I'm a little I spoke to these guys a while ago, actually, like maybe a couple weeks ago. So I'm a little fainty on a bit of the details, but from what I know is that some form of a retriever mix, and he's having a lot of struggles when it comes to socializing, interactions, a little bit with people, with them as his owner and handler. He's very sensitive to the touch, very skittish and nervous when he comes to meet new people. So, you know, during that call and some of the thought process that I've had, there's a bit of a disconnect, I think, when it comes to the relationship between the owner and the dog, and more so now, considering that now he's kind of taking shots at them, he's bitten them, snapped at them, that kind of stuff, claiming spaces in the house. So if he's on the couch or if he's on like a bed and they want to move him, they find a little bit of struggle and difficulty with that. Not only that, they were actually training with another trainer who advised them to kind of use food to lure him away from places and all that, which I understand the thought process with that, but to be honest, that's probably not the best route to go. And I think over time now the dog has just learned certain behaviors that he's come to understand, really, that he's able to control the situation and control the circumstance. So now they're feeling like they don't know how to handle him, one, manage, two, which is going to be a big portion of what I told them we'd be doing in a course or training program, is teaching them, making them understand concepts, theories, again, of how dogs think and learn, but at the same time, with knowing that form of information, learn and know how to manage this so that it doesn't keep escalating and getting out of control. And at the end of the day, for you to have, again, control, a little bit more control of the dog, but also confidence in yourself. So we'll see how he reacts to me when I go in, and we'll kind of progress and go from there. So I'm actually going to grab a slip rope. It will be the easiest form to gain control if necessary, if needed. Okay. Hi, buddy. See him at the door. You're not barking. Where's your parents? Okay, there.
Hey, you want us to put him on a leash, or you want us to leave him?
Do as you usually would.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Any distance? Hey, how's it going? Yeah. How's it going? Steven. Happy.
Bentley, sit, buddy. Sit.
Hi.
Wait. Good boy.
You can say hi when he sits.
Yeah, of course. Whatever you guys usually do, you can do it.
Hey.
We make him wait.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Nice.
Waiting.
Relax.
This is every time he meets somebody.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He loves everybody.
Yeah. And then right after this, he actually jumped and grabbed my shirt. Very funny how that happened. Now my camera cut out when that did happen, so I'm just trying to give you a little bit of background leading to the next part of this. But his excitement essentially exploded, where he kind of does this thing where he'll grab onto clothing, I guess. Not necessarily super aggressive, but these are kind of these behaviors where your dog is starting to pull and grab onto people's clothing or whatever's hanging off of them. I mean, sure, it might be a little bit overexcitement, overstimulation, a little bit of playfulness. Sometimes these things can leak over to bad behavior. Especially if the environment's a little bit different. If I change, me, the person walking in, if I'm a little bit more theatric when something like that happens, those things can kind of turn on you. So something to be mindful of. And then this is where I essentially was able to get him to get off, but then I went, used the slip rope and gained control. But you're back to the clip. Behavior here. So essentially what's happened now, right? Because
You guys give me such a funny face.
yeah, and like you'll see the eyes kind of closing. He's kind of like closing his eyes slightly. Okay, now he's trying to relax. You when dogs do the yawn,
Yeah.
right? So he's up here, and now he's trying to calm down a little bit more. When I put the slip rope on, have you guys seen or used a slip rope yet before?
I've heard
Seen it.
the one of the daycares had this.
Okay, so as soon as that slip rope went on, it created more control, right? And you saw it where he kind of like thrashed his head a bit. He's like, oh, what is going on here? So now instead of like the pulling you guys are having to do, the stroking and the petting that you were doing before, you're getting all the control with just a leash that's actually creating pressure and tension. The more he pulls, the more he does action. So now that he's in this state, you're gonna get no tension on the leash, which is, again, this is part of the training you guys are gonna have. But when you hooked him on the leash and you ask for to sit, yeah, he'll do the sit. He's kind of looking at you and he's kind of like, are you gonna say go? Yeah. Right? And then he'll kind of go off on his own, and then you would create that tension, and then that tension is just continuously actually motivating him to go forward and forward. Now with this, instead, is every time he comes forward, uncomfortable tension occurs. So he's like, oh, I don't like that. But now that he's in a sit, and you're able to stand here and him being in the sit, now there's no tension on the leash. So he's gonna learn the clear difference between the two, right? My snap of the finger probably just got him to lay down a bit here, right? So the brain has completely changed now.
Yeah.
So it really coming down to control for you guys. Bentley, sit. Good. Walk. Bentley. Go on. Good boy. Sit. Yeah, so I cracked it him.
Yeah, so with ours, he will. And
Walk. Yeah.
if I try not to run with him, sometimes he does on the walk.
Yep.
And then he thinks it's play and he tries to fight the leash.
Yep. So even if he was like on a prong, I'd fix that fast. He would never do it again. People stray away from certain tools only because they don't know how to use them. Because this guy, and I heard some murmurs, is more than capable of doing a lot of things. More than capable. He is not a lost cause at all. He just hasn't started. You know what I'm saying? We just haven't really started. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, he can be a really good dog, and I said that to Nick.
So like, to be honest, when it comes to the moments where like he wants to take my hand off, I promise you he's gonna learn. He's probably definitely not gonna do it with me. And I'll just teach you guys that the best ways of doing that, where you can keep your, your limbs and fingers and stuff, where he's gonna learn, like, you know what? They're also on my like no list. You know what I'm saying? This guy's great. Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, so even like with the dog there, right? Like, sure, different tool and all that, but it's also the way I'm using the tool. If, again, so I'll show you if I can incite it right now, right? Bentley, hi, walk. All right, I'll incite it right now. If I, look at this now. Why? Because I have constant pressure on the leash, so now you get protest. Yeah. But, come here. Good. Come here. So now I'm going to get him out of that mindset. I just put him in, right? Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Bentley. Sit. Sit. So you see how you can turn a dog on and off, especially if you don't know what you're doing? Yeah. So that's the skill part for the training. But yeah. Is this good show and tell?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've
What you
been
just did.
telling Nick, I'm like, he's a good dog. Because Nick's like, oh, he's just trying to cause problems. I'm like, no, he's a good dog. We have to be.
It's a lot of the time it's human error. To be honest.
Yeah.
My job is to teach humans.
Yeah.
These guys are easy. They're basically somewhat the same.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, because I find that almost every time we walk him, we get to here, and then he just starts pulling.
Yeah.
And I'm like trying to pull him back.
It's almost like he knows when we're coming back from the walk.
So even on the way out.
And he's like, oh yeah, I find it's more when we're coming on the way home, and if he's not ready to come.
Yeah.
Home, and he starts tugging on the leash.
Yes.
And trying to pull back.
Yeah, well, he'll chew the leash, then he'll come to the grass like right here, and
Yes.
he'll start like pulling back.
Yes.
And he won't walk.
And that's the thing too. So tools, okay, like yeah, tools is like 25% of it. The next 25% of it is training the dogs to understand and learn how to maneuver and work and do the thing. And then the last 50% is how we are conducting ourselves.
Yeah.
So like with this tool, it's self-correcting because he figured that every time he kept pulling away from me, even more pressure was happening on the collar. And then the moment he gave into that pressure, right? That make you nervous? Right? As soon as he gave into that pressure, the last 50% was me, where I made sure there was no pressure on that leash because now you're doing the behavior I want you to do.
That's when he was like doing this shit.
Yeah, so when he was messing around, because I put him in that mindset, I told you I was going to, right? I put that tension on the leash. He's like fighting.
And then when you let go.
And then when I let go and I started popping, right? Giving more direction, pressure, pop, pressure. Then he got up and he walked forward. Everything stopped on my end.
Yeah.
So instead of continuously, you just did a quick.
Yes.
Almost like a jolting.
Yes.
So just left their place. Honestly, that dog's a really good dog. Now in the very beginning, they were trying to restrain him, hold him back. He was on a flat collar and a regular leash. And so he's clearly getting very excited, getting very pumped up. Oppositional reflexes is definitely in full swing. And when she kind of gave a little bit of leash there, he immediately comes up, slightly starting to jump up, starts tugging on my shirt there. I think that's might have been where it kind of cut up maybe a little bit. I had to get my slip rope and all that. Once I put the slip rope on him, gained more control of the head, and added some pressure to the leash, his brain clearly clicked in and said, well, something's very different here. What's going on? I had issues with him with biting because when they're putting things on and off the collar. So they're very surprised to see that he didn't really react when I put the slip rope over him. On top of that, they've had issues with like when they want to move him or get him into different places or different spots in the house or get him off of things. He'll kind of scrunch his nose, show maybe teeth, definitely will growl, and then would snap normally. Like, from looking at the situation, assessing him, taking him on walks, he's walking with me on a slip rope. There's another dog there. He says usually that's the dog he barks and lunges at, and he didn't show any signs of that. I think the biggest part of this whole thing is that there might be some human error involved here. Prior to the pre-call I had with them before this assessment, I'm obviously trying to kind of dispel to see if there's any actual serious behavioral issues, maybe some genetic issues at hand. And to be honest, I didn't really catch any of those vibes from him. I think what needs to happen is I need to train them up and change their perspective, their mindset, build some more confidence in them through training. So once we start training the dog, and they see the dog starts to build a little bit more skill sets, that will kind of put them a little bit more at ease. And of course, testing and trying the different ways of handling him and seeing, where his thresholds are and all that. But once we kind of get them up to speed, teach them and understand, and teaching them concepts and making sure they understand that, and then them practicing that and being consistent about it, that's going to bring a lot of confidence to them. And once they're confident, I strongly feel like the dog's just going to follow suit, because that's his nature, to be honest. It looks like he is looking for some form of leadership and guidance, and it's just that he's not necessarily getting it, especially in circumstances where he's a little socially awkward or he's a little insecure. So when he's a little insecure, that's when he's going to display a lot of that little, nonsense of a behavior. So and then I saw in times when he was feeling a little vulnerable, or he wants to be under their feet kind of thing, they would want to pet him and, kind of foster that type of mindset. And so things like that is what we're going to change in them. So ultimately, really just make them much better, confident, assertive leaders, really. And I strongly feel Bentley would follow suit. And I feel like he would take that lead, and it would definitely put him in a different state of mind. So yeah, we shall see.